We're now going to look at Perplexity research mode. So I'm logged into my account perplexity.ai and I'm on the free plan. And you'll see by default we're on the search mode there. But if you look next to it, there's a button that says research and it says advanced analysis on any topic. And it says pro upgrade for more queries, 3 queries remaining today. So you do get a generous allowance there for free. So I'm going to click on the research button so it knows we're doing that. And I'm going to paste in the exact same prompt that we've already tried in ChatGPT and Gemini. And let's see how Perplexity handles this. So I'm going to fire that off with the arrow there. And this says here, research. It takes a few minutes to gather sources, analyze data, and create your report. You have the option here to click notify me, so you can go off and do other things. And it's just waking up here, said it was creating a plan. And again, you can see what it's thinking it needs to do here. So I need to search the web to find detailed information. And now it's searching and you can see what it's actually finding. And it lists them out and then it tells you what it's actually reading. Interestingly, it's brought up White Case here as well, Deloitte, Kennedy's Law, a government site. So this is looking good. Artificial Intelligence News, Tech Monitor. I need to gather detailed information on the EU AI Act, focusing on its risk-based approach. So again, it's searching for those terms to bring up information and it's reading the sites it's found. And again, now it's saying I need to gather detailed information on the current state of AI regulation and policy in the US. So let's see what it says about that. Searching US AI regulation, reading various websites. So you'll see this process is quite a bit quicker than the other two. I need to explore the regulatory environments for Isle of Man tech companies. Now it's searching again. It's reading a few different websites here. It's picked up 3FM. Okay, so it's jumped out of that thinking mode. I know it's still, no it is, it's just expanded it up for us. So sorry, yes, it's reading 3FM, BBC News, Manx Radio, Queen Geek, Finance Isle of Man. It's reading all those different websites. And it's just thinking that through. And now it's saying I need to explore different regulatory approaches to AI in the EU, UK and US to understand. I need to think about what language to use for my thinking. It's saying it needs to use English. It's going through an awful lot of thoughts here quickly after quick succession. So you can see that's the research tab there. Oh, and it's now bringing the report up. It's still just generating that for us. So the other two tend to deliver a big report in one go, whereas because this is a little bit shorter, you can see it generating it for us here. Although this is actually quite a long one compared to other ones I've seen in Perplexity, reflecting the complexity of the question we actually asked. It's still working on that there. But let's see what the different tabs along the top are. So that's the research tab. It's kept the tasks it was doing separately. Images that it's actually found as it was searching, and a list of the sources, which in this case is 80. So again, quite a lot of different source materials, which is very different to how ChatGPT approached this same ask. Obviously, whether they're all relevant is another matter we need to look into. So back to the research tab. Has it finished? Let's scroll down. Yes, it has. Okay, so it's notably shorter, but that can be a good thing depending on what it is you need. So it's saying comparative analysis. It's saying it's important to understand this, so it's reflecting what we've mentioned. So it's giving us a quick overview of the EU, which is nice and short and looks reasonably comprehensive because it's all about the risk tiers in the main. and what you need to do for the high risk category. Again, it's echoing what the other two reports said about UK going for a pro-innovation approach. And a principles-based framework, I think we saw that in the last one, with these 5 different categories forming the framework, which is interesting. So appropriate transparency and explainability, safety, security and robustness, accountability, contestability, providing mechanisms for people who are affected to contest harmful outcomes or decisions, and fairness, ensuring AI systems don't undermine legal rights. And it's saying, rather than creating a new regulatory body, the UK plans to implement through existing members of, it's got a different forum there, which includes lots of the regulators that are relevant. And it is also advancing more formal regulation through an AI bill. And we can see the little numbers hovering there, so you can actually see where it's getting that information from. And it looks like that's a UK lawyer's website. And in the US, we've got a short summary here, lacking a comprehensive federal legal framework. It's saying, but it's highlighting some notable legislative efforts, and key proposed legislation has included, and it's got a couple of options there, although 2022 is obviously quite old in this world. So what we might want to do differently next time we do a prompt is to specify a time period. So we could say that we only want news and information that is relevant from the last year, for example, or specify from January 2024 right through to May 2025. So what is it doing now with that information? Is it synthesizing some advice for us? It's done its own research about the Isle of Man, developing its own approach. It's mentioning, so it's picking up some relevant information because it's quoting our Chief Minister, it's quoting Digital Isle of Man's Chief Exec, and it's picked up the Activate AI initiative and what those goals are. And it's mentioned the relationship with AI Singapore. It's now doing key similarities and differences. Innovation versus protection balance, and the key bit of information here, the implications. So it's saying if you are deploying a system in the EU, you need to comply. And it's saying UK is more flexible, may offer opportunity for innovation while still requiring attention. It's not very clear there what it means by that. And US basically monitor what's going on, which again, I think we saw in the last one. So strategic positioning opportunity. So we didn't ask it to do this. It's kind of concluded this itself. The Isle of Man's development of its own bespoke AI strategy presents opportunities for local companies. So it's indicating that companies should help shape that framework, which of course I would encourage. Competitive differentiation and international collaboration. I don't think it's really done what I've asked here, slightly differently to the other two. So I think it goes to show where you just need to be a little bit careful that you do read it properly. So it's almost taken a position of giving the Isle of Man government advice here rather than what I specifically asked for, which is I'm a tech company on the Isle of Man. What do I need to know to operate within the correct regulation? So it is saying you need to understand what's going on, but it's not telling us what that actually is, which I think out of all three, the Gemini report did the most sort of comprehensively or clearly. But yeah, there's some interesting bits it pulled out. So I think for me, this shows that the Perplexity results isn't really good for this type of more in-depth analysis. But if I was just saying, give me the key differences between what's going on in the UK, US and EU, this actually might be a better response because it's summarised, it's shorter, it's succinct, and I can see still where it's getting the information from. But very different to the previous one. You can copy and paste this into a document as usual. So you've got an option to export there. Exporting quite helpfully here, you've got PDF, You can do Markdown, you can do a .doc format, or you can create what they call a Perplexity page, which is easier to share, a bit like a little Wikipedia entry. And you can ask follow-up questions in this one, unlike Gemini. And interestingly, what Perplexity does really well is it gives you ideas of the next step you might want to take if you actually were working on a project. So how do they differ in terms of enforcement? What are the key implications? How does the UK's approach compare to the EU's, etc.? So we could ask that information if we wanted to. But that's Perplexity, not quite as in depth as ChatGPT and Gemini, but it's really useful if you want to get a quicker and summary response.